There's a video of Trisha Paytas where she's saying that she's going to try and keep some composure.
Hey everyone, I'm already crying. I'm gonna try and do this with composure.
And that's a good way to describe how I feel right now. I thought that Gen Alpha wanting to be teenagers in 2014 was already bad enough. But something so much worse is unfolding in front of our very eyes right now. There's been a tweet that's been going crazy viral on Twitter, okay? And before I reveal to you guys why, I genuinely need you to mentally prepare yourselves because this is legitimately disturbing. I'd give the world to experience 2020 as a teenager. What? But wait, because there were more Gen Alphas who were replying to this comment saying the exact same thing. For real, like, I was 10. And then there was a bunch of them agreeing with that person by commenting same with crying emojis. What is wrong with this like, I know I sound like a boomer. I know I sound 60 years old. But how can you look at 2020 and yearn for that experience? I don't know how to react. Do I want to grab them by their shoulders, start shaking them and saying, no, you didn't! It was horrific! But after discovering that there are genuinely 14-year-olds out there in this world right now who wish they got to experience having lifelong memories made as a teenager ripped away from them, I fell down a rabbit hole that I did not know existed of Gen Alpha romanticizing the COVID lockdown. And even going as far as to say that we should make 2024 the new 2020. So obviously you were too young to understand what was actually going on at the time, but millions of people all across the world weren't allowed to leave their homes. And not only that, we weren't allowed to travel any further than 5 kilometers away from our house. Why on earth would a single soul yearn for times like that again? Well, apparently Gen Alpha does yearn for that lifestyle. Because now they're getting onto TikTok and pretending that they're getting ready for a day in March of 2020. We're role-playing COVID lockdown now. And I just find it to be kind of an out-of-body experience when I see that this Gen Alpha is using the G6 and bling effect filters to replicate the videos we made back in 2020 to make their videos as authentic as possible. Because these filters that they're using in their 2020 aesthetic videos are retro novelties to them. But it doesn't stop there because they keep making these POV It's March 2020 videos by starting their days with a whipped coffee and scrolling through pictures of the outdoors on Pinterest and watching stupid TikToks. Again, do you know how dystopian it is for you to be replicating a day in 2020 by looking at pictures of the outdoors because we couldn't go outside?
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined. Gen
Alpha seems to have this belief that literally all we did day in and day out was make and consume whipped coffee. They're absolutely obsessed with it for some reason because there was a literal 2020 role play account. Let me repeat that for you so it really sinks in as to how dumb this situation is. A role play account created by Gen Alpha pretending that it's 2020. And in one of their videos, they make a cup of whipped coffee as if that's the only thing anyone ever did during the lockdown. I don't remember making a single cup of whipped coffee. But then there was yet another Gen Alpha who got onto TikTok and said, POV, you're making whipped coffee before online school. Okay, so now we're romanticizing the Zoom classes that literally not one single student had the motivation to attend because we were all so depressed. That's what we're romanticizing now. Let me tell you right now, as somebody who literally turned 16 2 days before the COVID lockdown began, when a teenager woke up during the pandemic, not a single one of them was thinking, oh, it's 7 a.m. I should probably get up and make whipped coffee before my class. No, it was darker than that. It was a lot darker than that. And there was yet another account dedicated to the 2020 aesthetic who uploaded a video captioned "The Good Old Days." As if not only was that just not even 4 years ago, I don't know what about only having one member of your household being allowed to leave the house only once a day screams good old days to you. But I digress. They include a picture of a tie-dye shirt because in 2020, that was a really huge trend. However, they failed to understand why tie-dye was such a huge trend back in 2020. Not only because we were all just yearning for a simpler time where we could go outside without having to worry if we were gonna die. Then the next picture is a slide of a trampoline sleepover that people were having. But you wanna know why people were having trampoline sleepovers? Because we had no other choice. That was the only way that Gen Z was gonna socialize. We quite literally had to reinvent what a sleepover meant because we weren't allowed to have social gatherings inside. If you couldn't make it work outside, then you can forget about seeing your friends ever again. We didn't do that because we wanted to. We did that because we had to. But who would have guessed? Us adapting to our very terrifying situation with no end in sight would become a Gen Alpha's daydream for them to live out through TikTok just a few years later, huh? Then, in the next slide, they had the audacity to include a picture of a Zoom call. And I find this one to be especially insulting because there are millions of people out there in the world who had their high school graduation ceremony stolen from them because they had to attend a virtual ceremony instead. But no, a Zoom lesson is so aesthetic, isn't it? But it's also crazy because they're acting as if Gen Z couldn't have possibly been depressed because we got to stay home and play Roblox all day. No, you're cherry picking. You're intentionally leaving out all of the horrible aspects of that quarantine. Because again, y'all may have been too young to understand the severity of the situation, but you couldn't buy toilet paper. Toilet paper was basically a currency.
Please! I just want one pack. No, not one pack.
What's the limit?
At the moment, it's one.
Guys, I need everyone to back off right now.
Stop.
No.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Take it away from them.
Stop. You need to get off this trolley now. You need to get off this trolley now.
Get off there!
Don't get involved.
It became a rarity that sometimes had to be carefully rationed. Just like ammunition or canned food in an apocalyptic show like The Walking Dead.
Yo! Bro, look at this!
Why are you wanting to pretend that you live during a time like that? Forced to be in 2024, but I was born to be in 2020. Oh, you were forced to be allowed to go outside whenever you wanted? You were forced to have the freedom of whether or not you needed to wear a mask. You were forced to not have to wake up every single day of your life and worry about if you've given you or a loved one a potentially fatal illness. What? All just so that you can play Among Us? Are you kidding me? Oh my god. POV, it's March 2020. It's 68 degrees outside. School just got cancelled for 2 weeks. You're enjoying a popsicle while attempting to tan even though the UV index is 4. You're about to go inside and make whipped coffee. And your only worry is what time you're waking up for your daily walk tomorrow. Life is good. The only thing that I had to worry about is what time I was gonna go on my daily walk. Really? Not the fact that I can't visit a sick family member in the hospital because all outside visitors have been completely banned. Therefore, leaving every single patient in that hospital completely alone with no one there to lean on for support. Life could not have been fucking worse. And the fact that face masks and hand sanitizers have become cute little collector's items in their eyes is genuinely bizarre. These weren't used because people wanted to be pro-rappy. We were using them because we were absolutely terrified for our lives. And we were trying to use any form of protection that we could, no matter how weak, in order to protect ourselves from dying. What the hell is going on? Why do you want to go back to a time where before you enter a grocery store, you have to scan a QR code and check yourself in? And the fact that there are several accounts on TikTok all acting like they've just gotten 2 weeks off of school and that they're telling people to stay safe from the virus in their bio is actually dystopian, because we don't live in those times anymore, but they're pretending that we do because I don't know why. Why? Anyways, guys, check in on your local Gen Alpha, okay? Because they've got issues. They do. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Mwah. I love you all so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys!